Hello and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining me right here today is Savannah Ray. Savannah, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. First and foremost, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure. So why don't we start by telling everyone a little bit about you and how you got started on your musical adventure?
Sure. So, I started doing music at a pretty young age. I started pursuing it professionally around 12 years old. I pretty much thank my parents for getting me into music. They kind of introduced me from everything from country to rock to rap to 15th century like lute music. They gave me a vast appreciation for all things musical. And so I remember specifically, I went to an Evanescence concert and I saw Amy Lee up on stage, which is the lead singer of Evanescence. She's amazing, incredible. And I told my mom that I wanted to do what she was doing. And thankfully, my mom and my dad took me very seriously when I said that. They enrolled me into vocal lessons and guitar lessons, and the rest was pretty much history. I had my first show at 12 years old with a full band at this place in San Antonio called Sam's Burger Joint. And I kind of just fell in love with performing and music right then and there.
Is there something in particular that you love about music? Is there a certain element or piece of it to it, Savannah?
Um, I mean, there's so many different facets of it. Number one, just loving music in general, and then number two, loving music enough to want to pursue it as a career, which are two very different things. But I think just loving music in general, there's a song for everything. There is a song and mood for everything. What I listen to changes every day. It depends on how I'm feeling. There's
Mm-hmm.
songs that I listen to when I'm sad, songs that I listen to when I'm happy, songs that I listen to when I'm mad. And I think that that is so cool is that music is such a universal language that you don't have to speak English, you don't have to speak Spanish, you can speak, whatever it is, you can be from wherever across the world, that you can still appreciate music at its core. And I think that that is just one of the coolest things. And then also just doing music in general, being a musician, being an artist, that's very different to where I feel like you just have a love and appreciation for music, but also creating music, creating stuff that you just randomly hear at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night that you just write it down or you voice memo it right here. And, it's those are two very different things, but I think that at the core of it is just love for music, listening to music, and spreading, at least as an artist, what I have to say personally and any experiences that I've been through in my songwriting. So
Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about any upcoming projects? I know you got a couple new singles coming out soon.
yeah, so I have a few new singles coming out very very soon. In a few weeks, I have a Freddie Fender cover that I am very excited for. He's pretty much Texas legend in Texas where I'm from.
Hmm.
So very honored to be able to do a cover of that, which that'll be coming out in a few weeks. And then I think in about a month, I'm having one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, one of my favorite songs that I've ever had the privilege to record. That one will be coming out. That one's called All Hat No Cowboy. One of my favorites. I can't wait. I've held on to this song for literally like 3 years. I've
Oh,
just
wow.
been yeah, it's lived its life, but I've been so excited to actually put it out there into the world, but I had to make sure that it was right and perfect before I did that, so that hence the
Right.
3 years.
Mhm.
So
That makes sense.
yeah.
So, if you had the opportunity to open for any artist out there, who would you choose and why, Savannah?
I'm gonna give you three just
Okay.
because I
The top
one is
three.
one is a little far fetched. Okay, one is a little far
Okay.
fetched. I'm still a realist over here. So obviously George Strait is my number one of all time. I'm from Texas.
Hmm.
George Strait is king. Okay, so that one's a little far fetched, but he's my favorite. But other than that, I would say either Miranda Lambert or Co Wetzel. I'm definitely more, at least my new music that's coming out, with the exception of the Freddie Fender cover. But it's definitely more country rock and rock and country sort of thing. It's like it's very guitar heavy, very full band kind of
Hmm.
stuff that I'm coming out with, and I think that those two artists are kind of like an amalgamation of me.
Hmm.
I love George Strait, Co Wetzel, I love Miranda Lambert, and then also I have such a rock influence. My favorite band is Motley Crue, so it's like I have all these different influences coming together that I think that those two would be kind of a good vibe for me and where I'm going with my music.
If it wasn't for music, what would you be doing right now, Savannah?
That is a very good question. I think it would probably be one of two things. The first job I ever wanted to do was I wanted to be a horse trainer. And so I mean, I would either be training horses or I would have something to do in the music industry, probably more on the business side of things, just because I do love the music industry. And I think that that would be interesting from the business side of things, because I get to do artist and business, but strictly business side of things would be pretty cool.
Definitely, definitely. What do you like doing outside of music? Do you have any hobbies or anything that you like doing?
Yes, I will say music takes up probably 99% of my time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, being an artist is uh is a
Don't have much
full-time job.
time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a full-time job, and then I also have like 12 different jobs in there, graphic
Mm-hmm.
design, social media marketing, social media content creation. Like it's just like there's 8 different hats
Mm-hmm.
that I have to wear as an artist. But it's all fun for me. So honestly, music is one of my biggest hobbies, even though I do it
Mm-hmm.
professionally full time. But other than that, I like photography. I love a good Netflix show. I like cooking. And then
Mm-hmm.
of course, I like outdoorsy activities like
Mm-hmm.
fishing and stuff and hiking. So I'm pretty big on that as well. But music is honestly a big time killer for me.
Where do you see you and your music in the next couple of years? Where do you want to be?
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of touched on how my music is kind of going more towards that country rock side of things
Mm-hmm.
that I'm super excited for, because those are my main two loves, is country and rock. And I'm trying to figure out, how to put that together and make an amalgamation of what Savannah Ray is and what I want
Mm-hmm.
it to sound like. So I mean, I think definitely musical evolution is one of my favorite things, and I'm looking forward to finally putting out, some stuff that I'm super excited about, that is like completely me. And then also, just touring and gigging in general. Live show is probably my favorite thing about this job. That's what I live for. That is my bread and butter. If I could be on tour every single day, I totally would do it. But I would say just touring and gigging as much as possible, and seeing a whole bunch of new people, seeing a whole bunch of new places. That is like my favorite thing. So hopefully I have the opportunity to maybe hop on some tours with some artists that I love, or play some venues that I
Mm-hmm.
am just excited to play. So
If you had the opportunity to play at any venue, which one would you choose?
oh, there's like a good old list. But I mean, of course, as a country singer, you want to play places like the Opry. You want to
Mm-hmm.
play places like the Ryman. Those are just the pinnacle of country music.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I want to play places that I grew up going to. In Texas, for example, like Green Hall is a huge one. Floors is a big one as well. Let's see, amphitheaters in New Braunfels and stuff. And then Red Rocks is definitely one of my like top pinnacle ones that I want to play in Colorado. I think that place is beautiful. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
You never know. I mean, I'm trying to speak it out into the world. I'm trying to manifest it. So
There you go. There you go. What is the message that you would like to give your fans or anyone that might be listening or watching this?
Um, well, anybody that might be listening and watching this that doesn't know who I am, if you've never heard of me before, hi, my name is Savannah. Nice to meet y'all. But to anybody that follows me, that already kind of knows a little bit about me, thank you so much for supporting me. It truly means the world. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without everybody's support. Whether that even just be like buying a shirt, buying some merch, supporting the songs whenever they come out, even just commenting on my social media, just saying hi and whatnot. So I just want to thank everybody for the support, because, like I said, as artists, we truly cannot do it without the people that support us.
That is so true, especially if you're independent.
Yes.
It makes it
Especially,
even harder.
yeah. Being an artist is hard enough. Being an
Hmm.
independent artist is just a whole different ballgame.
It sure is, and people don't understand, most people, some people do, and some people just don't understand what goes into this. They really don't.
Yeah, it is a full time, all
Hmm.
hands on deck sort of job. So any sort of support that independent artists get, we take that to heart.
Hmm.
So thank you guys.
Now, where can people find you on social media if they want to keep up with what you're doing, Savannah?
Sure. I mean, you can find me on any social media at the Savannah Ray. and then thesavannahray.com. I tried to keep it pretty like simple across the board. Just the Savannah Ray. If you type in Savannah Ray anywhere, you will find me on all the Spotify's, the iTunes, whatever anybody uses. Yeah, so I would love it if anybody came and said hi, because I pretty much, as an independent artist, we have to live on social media lately.
We do, we do. Now, Savannah, is there anything that I forgot to mention that you'd like to mention today before we go?
No, just keep an eye out for the music that I'm gonna be dropping pretty soon. I'm really, really excited about it. The Freddie Fender cover, My Little Child that I have, All Hat No Cowboy, that's coming out in about a month or so. Very excited for that. And then keep an eye maybe on my touring schedule. We have new shows added every day. I'm playing the New Mexico State Fair with Mark Chestnut in September, which I'm very excited for. And then I'm playing my first arena show with John Party in El Paso that I am just excited for. And so, as an independent artist, number one, playing with artists of that caliber, and then number two, playing an arena is a pretty big deal. So I'm really excited for that, and just to keep an eye on the touring schedule. Hopefully, I can come to cities near y'all.
Fantastic. Savannah Ray, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show today's Best Country Mix. We really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.